Welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and boxing capital of the world. Today I have a special guest, a repeater, Jason Vegas Vincent, who will be talking about programs that are up and coming in very near future, and talking about kids. We're talking about what's going on in the community. There's a lot of boxing events coming up, but one thing that touches our hearts is the help that these young kids need out there. We feel like a lot of individuals are not getting the care that they need. Jason, welcome to the show today.
I appreciate you having me on. It's always an honor and always a treat to be on the Joe Cortez Show. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to know, what can we do to help these kids out there? The parents are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What's going on? Is it at school? Is it at home? Is it because of the pandemic? Something is not right.
You know, Joe, I thought about this a lot. I have an 18-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter that I raised myself with my lovely wife, who's here in studio with us. But, you know, I also worked for the school district for the last 7 years. So I've done morning and afternoon safe key. I've done the lunch programs, the lunch duty. And what I see, and obviously things have changed a little bit since COVID too, or a lot since COVID too, but, you know, there's just not one quick fix right now with the kids now, you know, nowadays of what's going on and what they've been through the last few years. Me personally, I'm an athlete. You know, I like the arts. I like the martial arts. I like the after-school programs. I like getting your kids into dance, drama, kids, different things. So for me, step one is let's get these kids involved. Let's get them out of the house. Let's get them off the games. Let's get them work on not only martial arts skills or dance skills or anything like that, but let's get them going socially. I see some of these kids are behind socially, so you know, everybody says, hey, it's reading, writing, arithmetic, all that different type of stuff. And yes, obviously, all that's very important. But there's other things that we need to supplement to make these children more well-rounded adults someday.
Yeah. You know, I think what's happened is that with the pandemic, a lot of these kids got locked in the house. Yeah. There was no school. They couldn't go out to play. A lot of kids started getting the anxiety and depressed, and the parents, the same thing, because the parents were all freaking out because they were fearing that something will go wrong with them or with their children if they go out and mingle in the community with the kids. Now it seems to be leveling out a little bit, and things are getting a little bit better, but still, there's too much politics involved. I think the politicians on both sides are very, very guilty of what's really going on. I think we should just forget about politics. Let's take care of our family. Let's take care of our loved ones. We have to take care of these kids in the community. There's not enough going on. Now, we have a lot of boxing programs. Can you tell us a little bit about your programs that are coming up in the very near future?
We've talked about it many times on the show, and this is an important subject. I know we've gone over it a few times, but it's really crucial and very important subject. And we'll start off like we always do with the PAL, the Police Athletic League, which you started back in your days in New York,
right,
way back in the long time ago. But
a couple of years ago,
we have a few gyms here in town, and here let's pull back for a second. If anybody wants to get their kids involved in sports and economics, money is a concern or it's not there are programs like the PAL, Police Athletic League, here in town. We have 3 boxing gyms that the PAL's at. And if you're not into boxing, they also do basketball and I believe soccer too. Well, I'll give you one gym. It's at Richard Stills Gym, Hall of Fame referee Richard Stills Gym. They have it every Tuesday and Thursday there, every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's from 4 to 5:30. I just had talked to Coach Tracy and Coach Percy Pride, who are in charge of that program there. Now, guys, that's free boxing training. 2 days a week for an hour and a half. You get your kids out of the house. There's a little parent section there that you can still do whatever you need to do and while your kids train. And it's very important. And also, you've been to Richard Stills gyms many a times. Not only are they teaching boxing and fitness and discipline, and your kids are getting a good workout, so they're able to get some of that anxiety out, like you said, and kind of empty their gas tanks. There's structure there. You know, that they teach them to bow and look adults in the eyes and shake hands.
They teach them a lot of respect there. And, you know, and a lot of, it's good going to these gyms like that because a lot of these kids, they have to learn how to get the self-esteem, discipline, you know, the confidence level, all those kick in while going to a gym and learning how to box because you got to listen to your trainers. Some of these kids don't get the direction and they don't get what they should be getting at home for some whatever reason. But at the gym, you have to listen to your trainers. Now you got Richard Steele there,
Yeah.
there every day, and you have Trevor Hollywood.
Trevor Hollywood Covington, who was one of my old training partners when I used to compete in amateur boxing over at Bo's Boxing Gym, and he was a amateur boxer, and he has one pro fight. He's a professional boxer. So he is starting a program with the city of Las Vegas. He's been with the city of Las Vegas now for about 4 or 5 years. He worked with me in the school district. He also worked with me at Caesar's Palace. But he is starting in October at War Memorial Community Center. It's up on the west side of town off of like Alta and the 215 area by Palo Verde High School. He's starting out a youth program and an adult fitness program. And he also will have some classes with techniques and all that. So he's starting kind of at the ground floor, and then he wants to build from there. So I'd like to support him and let you guys know that that is through the city. So you have free training at Richard Steele's with Pal, and you'll have inexpensive, cheap training from a professional boxer in up by Palo Verde High School at War Memorial.
And they're going to be
Center.
Trevor Hollywood Covington.
Trevor Hollywood. So he said you can call
Hollywood. What do they call him, Hollywood?
He's a flag. He should be on TV. He should be on the camera here, but yeah, he should be on TV.
Well, we like to get him
Sweetest
out
guy in
someday.
the world. The kids, I worked with him at the school district for 4 years. The kids absolutely adored him. They love him. They still, when I go to the school, I went back to school this week to volunteer at lunch duty and morning and afternoon safety, and the kids still ask me, they come up, Mr. Jason, when's Mr. Trevor coming back?
Yeah, I'd like to see more of the world champions that live here in town, that can come out and give more to the community, be more involved. I know some of them are involved, but you don't hear about it. I think we should bring them on the show here so people know what days they're training a particular gym, so they can come out and meet these world champions and shake hands with them. I know Mike Tyson, he loves kids. I like to see Mike Tyson get more involved in the community and be out here. I know he does a lot of things behind the scenes, but I wanted to be out there where people can say, well, Mike Tyson's going to be at this gym on this particular weekend, or maybe every weekend for the next 2 or 3 months. Different champions be there. This way, they learn how to respect their elders and learn how to mingle with other individuals out there. The kids today, they're kind of like holding back so much because of what's going on with the pandemic. I mean, there's just a lot of things that are not right. And we have to try to see how we can get individuals out there to come on and say, if you want to send me an email at the Joe Cortez at joecortez.com. Send me an email, give me some ideas, and tell me what you think we can do to help out here in the community, not only in Las Vegas, but around the country, wherever you're watching this show, to get ideas, to get these kids on the right track. They need help, believe me, more than ever. We have to do it the sooner the better. Jason, I'm so glad that you're involved in the community. You're a good friend, you're a good husband, good father. I respect you for that, and I'm honored to have you as a friend because you are that kind of individual. You're caring from day one when I first met you. And I'd like to see you. Now, tell me a little bit, you've been doing some amateur refereeing, and you also been doing some professional, you got a professional license in Colorado.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So real quick, I just want to tell everybody I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on here that Joe Cortez has allotted us, especially with the programs that we have in the community here, and also it gives us a chance to promote amateur boxing. So he had mentioned Mike Tyson, and there are a lot of boxers behind the scenes that don't get credit. Floyd Mayweather's one. Richard Steele does obviously a lot for the community, doesn't get it. And here's a guy right here, Joe Cortez, does a lot. He lets us come on the show, and he's been to many of our events too to help out with the amateur community. But no, I got look, guys, I've been at USA Boxing now for about 5 years. I went up the chain of command there to level 2 and got ready to test for level 3. I did local events, regional events, and all the way up to Olympic qualifying events. I travel all around the country with my kids and my wife and my family and do amateur shows. And finally, an opportunity came around for me to get my professional license. I got my professional referee license in the state of Colorado and also the state of Minnesota.
We got to make it happen here in Nevada.
That will happen. We're working on it.
That's
Jason Vegas Vincent. I was born and raised there, so this obviously is where I want to be. But no, it's just been a kind of a surreal ride, and I know you've told me about your career, and sometimes you got to pinch yourself, and mine's way way below that, but sometimes I got to pinch myself too, where I've gone in a short period of time. Very grateful.
You should be very grateful and very proud of what you've been doing, because you've done a lot for the community, a lot with these kids, what you're doing today. I mean, this is what we need more of around the whole country. People like yourself. I wish that they can clone you and make more of Jasons and spread them around the country, around the world.
Yeah, very grateful. And to be humble, but I have heard that a few times. It makes me feel good and proud, because I have put a lot of hard work into this, and I know I have. And it doesn't stop here; it continues. Got a lot to learn and a lot of growth still ahead of me. So
yeah, well, what we have to try to do is get some community leaders more involved and let these politicians know that what's needed. I mean, the elections are coming around, and they were looking to get the vote. And I say, you know what? You want my vote? You better do something for the community. Show something. Show me what you can do for these kids that needed the help more than anybody else. I mean, these kids today, your own grandchildren out there looking one day, they're going to need the help. What you do today is going to have the effect in the future of these kids,
Yeah, everything starts at home, guys. I've noticed that working for the school district now, actually having skin in the game and help raising these kids. A lot of these kids I had in kindergarten are in 6th grade now. So I miss the kids. When I'm not there for a few months, I go back and they all run up and hug me and, Mr. Jason, we miss you. But what I've seen, I'm in the trenches, I'm in the field. We need to get more involved at home. Obviously, the schools are trying, but they can always do a little bit better. But you're absolutely right. When the politicians get involved, and not just tell you because they want your vote, but if you can get a politician backing you up, anything's possible.
Well, last night I met with a gentleman by the name of Mark Robertson. Mark Robertson is running for congressman. And like I said before, I'm not into politics, and I don't care what side you belong, but as long as you're a good person. He's a retired military from the Army, a colonel from the Army, did 30 years. And his son speaks very good Spanish. And so we had dinner last night just talking about what he's doing. And he's from Henderson, and he's running for congressman. And it's going to be a good thing. But I was telling him last night about what we can do, because I'm straightforward when it comes about these kids, how you got to help them out. And I said, you got to get there and really, you want my vote? You want to do the right thing? You want us to vote for you? We'll do it. But you got to promise us now. And don't just say you're going to do it and don't do it. You got to do it, because there's too much going on out there. And the politicians are the ones we got to get on their case. I take them out for dinner and talk with them and see what I can do, because this is what I been doing for a long time.
Well, you know me, I like all the avenues and all the different lanes to help out the kiddos out there. So I'm open to any ideas or whoever wants to get involved. But obviously, my main lane is combative sports and boxing. So you get emails from me every week, and so does Kenny Bayless and Tony Weeks and Celestino Ruiz and anybody that will come out and support our event. I hit you guys up all the time to come out. And whether that's a boxing, Hall of Fame boxing referee, or a politician, or a pastor at a church, I want you to come to my event and see what we got going on. Because once you get there, we got you. You're going to fall in love with what is going on at that boxing gym, or what's going on at that boxing event. You're going to fall in love. Yeah. And once you see it, breathe it, taste it, it's a whole different, their minds open up.
You have to believe in yourself, If you believe that you can do certain things, go for it. Don't say, I can't, I'm afraid to go in the ring. No, you know what? Just being in the gym, just being in that circle of people that you can talk to on a regular basis. Training is so important, even for adults. Staying in good shape is so important. I myself, at my young age, I'm still working out. I love to work out, because that's the only way you're going to get you back on your feet. When I got hit with COVID, I was in a wheelchair, I was with a walker, but you know what? I said, that's going to be temporarily. In my mind, I said, I'm going to make sure, I don't care, there's nothing going to stop me. Any mishaps that happened in my life, that's all I've forgotten about. I'm going forward. My health got hit real bad, but you know what? I'm back again. And this is what I tell these kids. You got to believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you want to make sure that you can do something. Don't say, I don't think I can do it, I'm afraid. Think positive. No matter what it is, you can put anything in front of me. I don't care what it is, I'll do it.
Let me ask you a question. Obviously you've been in sports and pretty much your whole life since Gaspar Ortega moved next door to you and got you and your brother going in boxing. Right. But being where you were as an amateur, a high-level amateur, a pro, and then a Hall of Fame referee, but even where you're at now in life, like you said, you still train. Give me some of the benefits that you get out of training.
Well, one thing, it makes you you feel like a young man again. I mean, hitting the bag, punching, working, hitting the speed bag. I mean, I had a kid over last night, John, and he was over. He want to see my gym, and we want to see. He was like, "Joe, you used to work out?" I said, "Do I still work out?" I put on the gloves, got hit in the bag, hitting the heavy bag, started hitting the speed bag. He said, "Man, Joe, you're doing it better than any young guy out there." I said, "Because I love to work out. It makes you feel good within yourself. You feel better. You feel physically. You feel like you want to still kick some ass. You know what I mean? You want to get out there and do things. There's nothing that's going to stop me from my working out. I think working out is so important. You at your young age, you got to keep going. And it keeps your weight down, keep you nice and trim and ready to go. And I like to flex my muscles still because I feel like I'm young.
You still got it,
mentally and physically, I feel good.
I saw you in the tank top, man. You still got the guns. But I want you guys to see this guy smiling right there. So that just goes to show the audience. We always talk about athletics or combative sports or training or working out and what benefits you get. And that was one of them. But did you see the big smile on Joe Cortez's face about training? Because training is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful art. You don't have to compete. You don't even have to spar. You get up, you're getting off the couch, your endorphins are going, you get a little sweat going, you feel mobile. You know, like you said, your all your blood work, your levels go down, you have a healthy diet. You're emptying your tank. You're getting that anxiety out. You know, the kids have anxiety. We all have anxiety. Driving over here, traffic, schoolwork, all the different pressures that life has right now. And you saw the big smile on Joe Cortez's face when I mentioned fitness, and that's one of the benefits right there. And that's a huge benefit. It makes you happy.
It makes you happy. Yeah, I mean, you feel, going through what I went through. Come on, man. I'm happy every day.
Right?
Just being alive. But, getting myself back. I could think back. A year ago, I was in a wheelchair and I was with a walker trying to make it. And I said, I know this is only temporary. Mentally, I said, this is temporarily. I know I'm going to be back on my feet. I don't care what it is in life, anything. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to make it through no matter what.
And you've come a long ways. I remember doing the show at your house with you when you had got out of the hospital and you were still going through your rehab and all that. And you did well. Obviously, the rehab got you, your lungs strong again and all that. But every once in a while, you had to take a little hit off the oxygen. And to where you were last summer to where you're at now, and you, my wife, can tell you're totally different guy. And you look, you act, you feel like you're 10 years younger. And, man, I'm proud of you, dude. You look great. You look awesome.
Well, I feel like I want to make a comeback, so watch out. There's some guys I lost once in the pros and twice in the amateur. And I'm still looking for Marcel Berfet in Montreal. Unfortunately, I represented the United States for the international championships. I lost a split decision up there. I'm looking for that rematch.
Wants a rematch.
I'm ready. I'm ready now, buddy. So if you're out there listening, watching, let's set it up.
We had to get you matched up in the master boxing division or something. I think I told you I was in Houston about 4 months ago, and I did the master boxing tournament at the Main Street Boxing Gym there. They have one twice a year there, but I refereed about 73 years old. Both these guys were open. I both had like 20 bouts, 20 fights, and it was a 73-year-old Rick against, I believe, a 68-year-old. 73 years old versus a 68-year-old. Both guys had over 20 fights. It was unbelievable.
Well, that's good, and it keeps them going, physically and mentally. If you get on the treadmill, do a little bit on the treadmill, go for a walk in the park. That's how you got to start off with something. Don't start off like hitting the bag 10 rounds or what. No, start off easily. Easy walk, footsteps here, footsteps there, a little bit moving around in the ring. Just move around a little bit, just get a little feel for it. And just like referees, when I was refereeing and you're refereeing now, you got to practice your ring mechanics. Keep yourself going, keep yourself physically fit, and that helps a lot. So when you get into the real match, you're ready to go. In real life, I say to you guys out there, work out light at the beginning, work your way up. Don't try to go out there and burn yourself out in 1 or 2 weeks. No, you're doing it the wrong way. You got to start off step by step. You got to crawl before you can walk.
Correct.
And that's what I was doing. I was crawling before I could walk last year, and here I am again, back ready to rumble.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Like you said, if you are starting out, obviously you want to make sure you're stretching. And like you said, take baby steps. Don't overdo it too much. Because if you overdo it, then you might get injured or you're just overly sore and then it's not fun. And, people, that's how people give up a lot of times too on it.
And you also got to, you are what you eat. So eating is so important. What kind of foods you're eating on a daily basis. Keep that regular diet. Especially individuals that are getting older. You may have a little bit high cholesterol, maybe diabetic. You have to be careful how you eat to keep yourself right there. Keep your A1C down low, because a lot of individuals let themselves go and forget about, what they put into their body.
Correct.
What you put into your body, what you're going to get.
And you have to adjust, like you said, as you get older, you have to adjust. What you ate in your 30s is not what you're going to eat in your late 60s or early 70s.
Yeah, these fast food places out there, they're all over. And every corner you look around, fast food. I'm not going to mention no names, but they're out there. The red ones, the yellow ones out there, they're out there. But you have to be careful because you got to be careful what you eat so you can be stronger and think more positive and love yourself a little bit more. And you gotta love yourself to be successful. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna make it. You gotta love yourself, especially when your name is Vegas.
Oh,
Jason,
brother, man.
Vegas.
Yeah, I'm so proud of this town, man. I love this town so much, man. Born and raised here my whole life. I'll be 49 here in a few months, and went to Western High School out here. Married my high school sweetheart, sitting right over there. She graduated from Western. So, yeah, this is my town. My mom went to Valley. My dad went to Clark, and it's my town, man. I love it, and I added it to my name, man.
Yeah.
So I did want to bring up, we do have an amateur event tomorrow, if you don't mind. It's Fights of Fury 7. Fights of Fury 7. It's at the Westgate Hotel and Casino tomorrow. The bouts start at 4 p.m., 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we're going to have about 20-ish, 22 bouts. The promoter, it's a USA Boxing sanctioned event. The promoter is Coach Ramon Montano, who was an amateur boxer, and I think he had over 20, 25 pro fights. And he was kind of famous for being Mayweather's sparring partner back in the day when he when he fought Pacquiao, or even a few of the guys before that. But that's tomorrow. We're going to have live entertainment. I believe they're going to have a Hispanic band there. And then the guy that actually used to be my old training partner, sparred and got me ready for my fight, 808 Presley. When I had my fight, he rapped. He walked me out to the ring and rapped. He's a professional rap artist and all that. He'll be performing live out there too. So that's tomorrow, Westgate Hotel, 4 p.m. Amateur fights, amateur bouts. Stephan Bonner, UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonner, will be doing the announcing on that. And these are amateur fights, but with a pro flavor. It'll be 1,500 to 2,000 people there.
Okay.
Very exciting.
And what is the fee for the tickets? For people
The $25 for the tickets, and it's well worth it. Like I said, you're going to get entertainment. You'll have ring card girls. You have Stephan Bonner there. You're going to have 25 bouts. The DJ is one of the famous DJs on the strip. I believe it's Gil Barbera. He'll be out there, playing music and stuff like that. They'll have concessions out there. And
so a lot of our money will be going towards the boxing program for equipment, for fees for some of these fighters to travel and whatnot.
you guys always got to remember, when we put on these events, you have to pay a sanction fee. You pay for the ambulance. You got to pay for the doctors, pay for the pavilion or wherever you're having it, and there's a lot of expenses that go into it. So the majority of the money that when you buy a ticket goes back to help pay for those expenses, and then whatever's left does go towards the boxing gym for equipment or the kids or traveling expenses, or a little bit of money so they can have another event.
Right.
You got to rent a ring and construct a ring there, and there's a lot that goes into it that people don't realize.
Right. I'd like to see a little bit more of that going on around the country, because we have it here in Vegas, but I'd like to see more states have more boxing programs, because that's how they be able to compete at a national level. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the amateur level in the United States, the program that they have?
Well, we're under USA Boxing. So USA Boxing is the sanctioning body, just like USA Judo or USA Soccer or whatever. We're part of that. It's in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Village is our home offices, but it's all around the country, even into Puerto Rico and some of the territories. So we sanction. These are sanctioned events. You always want to go to a sanctioned event. You don't want to go to an unsanctioned event, because that's where trouble could happen. Sanctioned events, you have doctors there, you have ambulances there, and then you have all certified coaches and officials there. So we all get pass books, whether you're a coach, an athlete, or an official, you get a pass book. They have background checks on that. There's different safety sports classes that we have to take. The athletes have to get a physical. The coaches have to, and officials get background checks. So everything's certified and everything's legit. And if you're ever interested in getting your gym certified, or you becoming a certified coach, or you have an athlete that's ready to start competing, or you want to become an official, please hit me up. Okay, I'm at West Vegas Vincent on Instagram, or you can find me at Jason Vincent on Facebook. And you're more than welcome to email me. It's jasonrandallvincent45@gmail.com. And I'll get you pointed in the right direction. You can also go online, you can Google it, usaboxing.org, and you can get all the information from USA Boxing there also.
See, this is so important that you're giving this information, because our viewers out there are always wondering, how can we get involved with the program? Where do we take our kids to, and also becoming an official.
Correct.
Becoming an official, you find a way to have a regular boxing gym. You go there, you can talk to the trainers and see if they can let you work out a little bit, show you the basics. You get in there and practice your ring mechanics. While they're sparring in the ring, you can get in there and work out with them. That's how you get to start. Before you know it, you work in the amateurs. Now, to become an amateur referee here in Vegas or a judge, what's the procedure for that?
What we do with that is, like I said, we'll get you to an event. We'll call it shadowing. We'll get you comfortable. We'll get you inside the field of play where the ring setup is. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll start you out as an inspector or at the gloving table where you're signing hand wraps and making sure the boxers have the right headgear, mouthpieces, groin protector on, the right uniform on before we send them to the ring. And then usually the second step, and it's not always this way, but usually the second step is we get you on the bell. You go from the glove table to the bell. Now you're at ringside, you're working the bell, and then from there you kind of know what you're looking at, and there'll be more clinics and certifications you can do. And then you become a judge. Once you start realizing what's going on and what you're looking at, you get more comfortable, you get more experience, you become a judge, and then you can always, like you said, go to a gym. If you want to become a referee, go to a gym and start doing their sparring sessions, the sparring practices, get in the ring and start moving around and working on your footwork. And we have books. We have the National Rule Book, but we have the R&J manual, the Ref and Judge manual, and that has all the different hand signals: holding, keep your head up, keep your shots up, no hitting behind the head, and it has all the different rules: pre-bout, during the bout, after the bout, all the different things that you need to follow. And then get a good mentor, and you know that. That's the most important thing, is getting a good mentor in your area that can show you the ropes and help you grow.
Well, one of the things that we've had, you watch Kenny Bayless, you watch Robert Hoyle. Those two individuals, you can see they're top referees today.
Correct.
Doing some of the bigger fights. And they started out as inspectors. They were inspectors. They worked with the amateurs first.
They started out in the amateurs for many years.
And then they went to the pros as an inspector.
Correct.
You can see Kenny Bayless working, the Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler fight.
As an inspector?
As an inspector in the corner. And you look in another corner, you see Robert Hoyle working as an inspector. And then from there, once that they were already in the door, and now they're in the professional ranks, now they're able to talk and see how they can become officials, whether it's a judge or a referee. And Robert Hoyle started as a judge.
Yeah.
He became a judge first, and now he's refereeing and judging. And Kenny Bayless, well, you know about Kenny Bayless. He's been doing some of the greatest fights in the last 10 years or so.
Like you said about working out, you're not just going to take the elevator all the way to the up. You got to get on the stairs with us and work your way up and enjoy and learn each spot that you're at, because everything counts as you grow up. And like you said, those guys went from the amateurs all the way to inspectors, learned the lay of the land as an inspector. One went to a judge, and then now they're all-time great type referees in there now.
Yeah. Baby steps, little by little.
The stairs, man. They took the stairs, just like you, man. You took the stairs.
Escalator, elevator.
Yeah.
That's for the ones that don't have they don't believe it that they can do it. You got it the hard way. Nothing's given to you easy. You want to be somebody. You want to be somebody special, a good husband, a good official like yourself. I mean, you got to do it the hard way. You got to earn it.
It makes you more well-rounded.
You got to
know
earn
what
it.
you're looking at, and you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got to earn it. Everything in life is could be difficult, but you got to work for it. If you work for it, and once you earn it, you feel very comfortable about everything.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. Well, Jason, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Now, tonight, there's tonight professional boxing on ESPN Plus. You have Shakar Stevenson, former Olympic champion, and who will be fighting and defending his title against a gentleman by the name of Robson Cachogo.
That's in Newark, New Jersey,
New
on
New
ESPN
Jersey,
tonight.
ESPN Plus tonight. Don't miss the show. And guys, thank you for listening in. I'm glad that we had Jason Vincent with us tonight. We'll catch you next week. Take care and keep your guards up at all time.